You know that moment when you realize your quiet suburban life just turned into a Tom Clancy novel? Yeah, that was me, standing in my front yard, watching a man in a fake tactical vest point a pistol at my wife because she went jogging without an HOA badge. And what he didn't know, my wife's a decorated Delta Force operative, fresh off a mission so classified I can't even tell you the continent. We had moved to Maple Hollow, a supposedly peaceful, family-oriented neighborhood just outside the city. My wife, Hannah, wanted peace after years of deployments. Me, I wanted reliable fiber internet and zero drama. We thought we found it. Brochures talked about community spirit and family events. But what they didn't mention was that the HOA was run like a private militia by a woman named Linda Granger. Linda was the HOA president, but she treated the job like she was running Homeland Security. She had a badge. 3, actually. And a rotating team of golf cart patrollers in black vests with Civic Protection Division patches. Most of them were middle-aged men who watched too much cable news and thought they were deputized agents of order. The first week, we kept to ourselves. Hannah organized the garage and quietly set up security cameras, just for peace of mind. I got to work from home, coding in my basement with a coffee mug and noise-canceling headphones. Everything was fine. Until day 8. That morning, Hannah tied her shoes, tossed on a hoodie, and went for a jog around the block. 10 minutes later, I got a motion alert from our security camera. 2 golf carts had boxed her in on the sidewalk, and one of Linda's gunsa pot-bellied guy named Ray, who once tried to fine us for planting rosemary in the wrong direction, is pointing a pistol at her chest. I sprinted outside, heart pounding, but by the time I reached her, it was already over. Ray was face down on the concrete, weapon disarmed, one arm pinned like he was in a training video. Hannah stood calm, breathing slow. She didn't even break a sweat. The cops showed up. Real ones. And when Hannah flashed her credentials, the officer just nodded and said, "Ma'am, you're clear." Ray tried to scream about assault, but no one was listening, especially not the officer, who very clearly recognized who he was dealing with. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? But Linda Granger wasn't just your average power-hungry HOA president. She had connections and a bone to pick. Turns out she had once been denied a military career for failing her psych eval. And now, she was living out some suburban redemption arc, trying to play commander with clipboards and bylaws. That night, she called an emergency HOA meeting to address what she called a hostile attack on community peace officers. The neighborhood turned up like it was movie night. People brought lawn chairs and popcorn. One teenager live-streamed the whole thing. Linda marched up to the podium in a tan vest covered in pins, flanked by her goon squad, and introduced Ray as a heroic neighborhood defender. His arm was in a sling, and his ego was in pieces. She started spewing nonsense about my wife being a threat to neighborhood harmony. That's when one of the neighbors, a retired tech guy with too much time on his hands, played the leaked footage from Ray's body cam. The whole takedown. Hannah had stayed calm the whole time. She disarmed him with textbook precision and didn't hurt him at all. The room went silent. Linda tried to recover, calling it unauthorized footage and claiming Hannah was casing homes. I stood up and asked if running with earbuds counted as espionage now. That got a few laughs. The tide started turning. Linda panicked. Within a week, we received a fine for aggressive jogging, among other nonsense charges totaling $1. For 170. Hannah didn't flinch. She just said, "Okay, let's play this out." She started digging. Public records, financials, everything. And what she uncovered was wild. The HOA had been funneling money into a fake landscaping company run by Linda's cousin. Over $180,000 in beautification projects that never happened. 2 fountains that didn't exist. Roads that were never paved. Hannah sent everything to a federal auditor. And within days, the HOA received a formal records request. That's when Linda really lost it. She started live streaming from the clubhouse, calling Hannah a national security threat and claiming the audit was a deep fake. Neighbors weren't buying it. Lawn signs popped up with slogans like "Linda lies," "We pay and smile," "You're being fined." Flyers went door to door exposing the fake invoices. Even Linda's own officers started backing away. Then came the city council hearing. Hannah showed up in jeans and a plain black t-shirt with a manila folder. Linda brought a binder thicker than a phone book and tried to claim jurisdiction over municipal law. The council wasn't having it. When asked for her background, Hannah simply said, "Active duty. U.S. Army Tier 1 unit." That's all I can say. One of the council members, a retired colonel, gave her a nod. From that moment, it was over. The HOA board dissolved. Linda was fined and barred from leading any HOA for a decade. Residents were refunded for illegal fines. Peace returned to Maple Hollow. Well, for a while. 3 weeks later, Linda returned. She left a leather folder on our porch claiming she was the victim of a military intimidation campaign. Hannah laughed, handed it to the same federal office that had investigated her. We never heard back. Then one night, a black SUV pulled up outside. A man in a government windbreaker handed Hannah an envelope. She read it, nodded, and packed a small bag. No words, just a quiet, confident look. At dawn, she left, back on assignment. Now the new HOA president is Bob, a retired mailman. His only rule: don't be a jerk. So, what do you think? Was the HOA just drunk on power? Or was Linda playing dictator for deeper reasons? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear your wildest HOA experiences and if you'd ever trust a neighborhood that needs a fake police force to enforce garden rules.